So hello everybody. I'm Captain Martin Laperrière-Simard. I'm the Formation Europe social worker, and we are here today to discuss some tools for talking with your children about the stressful events. So while children cannot be completely protected from these events, parents can help them feel safe and help them to better understand the world around them. So children's lives are touched by trauma on a regular basis, no matter how much parents or teachers try to keep the bad things away. Instead of shielding children from the dangers, violence, or tragedies around us, adults should talk to kids about what is happening. The conversation may not seem easy, but taking a proactive stance, discussing the difficult events in age-appropriate language can help a child feel safer and more secure. As much as adults may try to avoid difficult topics, children often learn or know when something sad or scary happened. If adults don't talk to them about it, a child may overestimate what is wrong or misunderstand adults' silence. So be the first to bring up the difficult topic. When parents tackle difficult conversations, they let their children know that they are available and supportive. So the first thing that we're going to look at is signs of stress. There are many ways humans exhibit symptoms of stress. So some are conscious and some are subconscious or automatic. Further, at different ages, people exhibit different signs. For very young children, they will not be able to tell you their symptoms, so observation will be required to see if they are exhibiting symptoms. Older children, youth, and adults may be able to describe symptoms, but until a certain level of maturity is reached, the connection between stress and physical symptoms isn't understood. Even further, each individual exhibits different signs of stress in different ways. Here are some ways stress can be exhibited. For example, let's say things to look at or to look out for. So first one, body signs of stress. So let's say, for example, tense muscles, headache, shallow breathing, rapid heartbeat, dry mouth, cold, sweating palms, skin rash, eyes dart back and forth, clenched jaw, tense face, disturbed sleep, fatigue, illness, or shaky. See, there's a huge spectrum of things that you have to look for. They are all significant following, let's say, a significant stressful event. For the mind, example of it is poor concentration, forgetful, less creative, difficulty problem solving, and being not spontaneous, easily distracted, confused, and even sometimes irrational. With regards to feelings, intense feelings, withdrawn, fearful, anxious, frustrated, sad, angry, overwhelmed, panicky, overly sensitive, irritable, helpless, and sometimes hopeless, threatened, and or overexcited. Behaviors like whining, clanging, poor listening, biting, kicking, crying, hair twisting, thumb sucking, nail biting, daydreaming, fighting with friends and family, restless or jumpy or impulsive, cautious, poor school performance, lack of appetite, eating more than usual. See, again, a very huge spectrum of things. But what is very important, because you know your child, is looking for change. So as I said, so what's important is to look for change in your child. So for example, if they are thumb sucker already, then sucking their thumb is not necessarily a sign of stress for them. But if they use to suck their thumb and haven't in 6 months but start again, that is probably a sign of stress. It is also important to talk to your kids about what they are feeling If they are showing signs of stress, it is not necessarily because of what has happened in the news, but it could be something completely unrelated. So some tips for all ages. Um, Flexible. First thing, flexible routines. So it is important to keep your child's regular routines as much as possible in order to instill a sense of normalcy for them. But be flexible. They may need to lay down with them before bed for a few minutes or stay up later to talk. Trust your instinct. Very important. So calm, truthful, and limited information. So children of all ages will feed off of your emotions. If you emitting panic, they will sense it and feel panicked. Do your best to remain calm and answer their questions truthfully while only giving them the information they need to know to have their questions answered. If your 6 years old asks, "What happened to to that man?" or um, what did happen in on that specific news, you might the child may be satisfied with an answer like he got hurt or he got hit by a car. They may be satisfied with that, and you will be happy you started with a simple answer rather than elaborating. Let them take the lead. Emphasize safety. So when answering your child question, follow up each answer by emphasizing safety. So, for example, but we have the police force, security, military looking after us, and we are safe. For the teams, consider discussing how quickly police, schools, military, security responded, reinforcing that we are prepared to deal with threats. Don't lie or make something up. If you don't know the answer to a question, tell them you don't know. Maybe you can consider finding the answer for them. And then tie back to them being safe with many protectors watching out for everyone. Okay, tips for different developmental stages. While children are naturally resilient, they are not adult, and as such do not understand and interpret events and emotion in the same way that adults do. They need to be in an environment that suits their developmental stage and needs. Always remember, don't lie, but don't necessarily share information that isn't necessary to share. So under 2 years old, those children don't understand what is happening, but they will react to the tension and anxiety in their environment. Keep their routines as much as you can and provide time for quiet play and calming rituals. For example, infant massage, rocking, singing bedtime songs. For the 3 to 5 years old, children in this age are naturally self-centered. They need reassurance that they are safe and their immediate family is safe. It is natural for them to not think beyond that to others. Talking about the protectors we have placed in our society, police, military, security forces, can be comforting for them. You can answer their questions simply by acknowledging that, yes, a bad man hurt another man, but we are safe thanks for the police force, security, military, etc. Children in this age group may still have trouble expressing themselves verbally, so offer alternative ways that they can express their feelings, such as drawing, painting, or acting out a story. Tips again for different developmental stages. The 8 to 11 years old, avoid watching news with a child of this age, as they the presentation may be too graphic for them to watch. So consider showing them clip from YouTube or the internet that you have seen first. If you shield them from all news at this age, they may be curious and seek it out on their own. If you curate what they see as much as you can have some control. This may mean resisting your personal need to track events visually. At the very least, avoid doing so with the children at this age in the room. And for both 8 to 11 and even 12 and plus kind of group, their peers can have a huge influence. Ask them what their friends are saying so you can address any misconceptions or untruths. For children of 12 and more, they can handle watching the news and may have curiosity about news. Allow them the access if it is developmentally appropriate, but watch the news with them and be available to answer questions and correct misconceptions. Remember, these are just guidelines. You know your child best and you know what they can handle. So next slide is a question that I will ask you to ask yourself, how your children become aware of current events. So in answering to that question by yourself, you may be a bit more prepared when that kind of event can happen. So there's extra stressors. For example, for military child, stresses and emotion faced by a military child will naturally be a bit different than a non-military child. Children who have a parent in the military may feel extra stress due to the nature of some attacks. Watch your child closely for signs of stress and be open for any questions they may have. Difficult questions like, will daddy or mommy be killed because they are in the military? Okay, so stress the safety and protective factors surrounding the military right now. Members are taking care not to wear their uniforms in public. There is extra security in place. Military members are highly trained to protect themselves and others. Perhaps the most difficult question of all, why would someone do this, can probably only be answered by, I don't know. There is evil in this world that mommy, daddy cannot understand or explain, and we are doing everything in our power to make sure you're safe. Talk with them about how they can spread love and joy in their world. You can't ignore your own feelings, and knowing how to deal with your emotions will help your child a lot. Transferring emotions, for example, children of all ages are very perceptive of their parents' feelings and mood. So they will pick up on what you are feeling, even if you try to hide it. Make sure to take time to check in with yourself and figure out what you are feeling. It is okay to share your feelings with your children. Saying, I feel sad too, or I'm scared too, models talking about your feelings. Always be sure to tie back to their safety. I'm scared too, but it makes me feel better to think about all the police officers in the city looking out for us. So we all need to vent our fears and frustrations about these events too. Save that for when you are with an adult friend or family member and there are no children around. Even teenagers need to feel strength and safety from their parents. Adult conversations should just be within an adult group. So it is completely normal when we talk about feelings. It is completely normal for us to run the gamut of emotion when thinking about or discussing tragic events. You may feel one of these feelings, all of them, or maybe something completely different is possible. We all process and grieve differently, So each person is justified in feeling different emotions. For example, being sad. So we may feel sad for the victims or and their families, or for the loss of the feeling of security. These are all completely normal and valid feelings. Anger. We may feel angry at the perpetrator of these crimes, or at the government, or at the military for not preventing it, or even at our spouse for introducing us to the military lifestyle. Or yeah, so again, all those feelings are normal. Emotions are running high and not always what we would consider rational. So for fear, as another example, while most of the country is probably experiencing fear, military members and their family members may be especially fearful because of the nature of these attacks. This is something that may not be understood by our non-military extended family, friends, and our children's classmates. So consider seeking out other people who understand the military lifestyle to talk with. Some people may not feel any emotions concerning these events and feel indifferent or desensitized. This is also a normal thing to go through and does not mean you don't care. Feeling this way is a way to protect yourself, and you will probably start feeling other emotion at a later date, maybe even when you least expect it. You may feel relief. It is very likely that you will feel relief that you or your loved one was not targeted given attacks. This sense of relief often leads to guilt. As human beings, we innately have a survival instinct, and these feelings are completely normal. You may feel disconnected or powerless um, from what's happening, uh, and powerless to make like a difference. So for people whose reaction to stressful events involves getting out and doing something such as volunteering or going to memorial services, it may be difficult to deal with strong emotions without these usual outlets. So here are a few ideas of things you can do with your children to help make a positive impact. These are only examples, and you may have some others as well. So here is a simple list of things you can do to help create a less stressful home environment. The most important is to model good stress management yourself. So exercise and free play, healthy, well-balanced food, individual time with parents, hugs and signs of affection, regular routine, sleep, laugh a lot. These are only examples, but a basic and useful list. There's resources as well. Activities for children who are worried or scared exist. Um, there's multiple handout that could help children acknowledge and talk about their feelings. Um, you can do those activities with your child and even try them yourself. So those websites are full of resources, and the book that is written here, The 5 Love Languages of Children by Gary Chapman, is very recommended for you if you want to go deeper and want to do some extra steps with regards to that topic. So my final point will be that sentence. So the point of terrorist activity is to instill fear and cause us to change our way of life. Be vigilant, but go about your normal life as best as you can, and you will be able to act as a model for your child. This is my phone number here in Germany. I'm there for you. So if you ever feel that you need more advice or that you need to talk about a specific situation regarding that topic or even other psychosocial stressors, uh, do not hesitate. I'm there for you, so you can call me anytime. Thanks for your I was to say participation, but I'm gonna say thanks to hear and to listen to that presentation, and have a good day.